7:05 p.m. Please join me for a moment of silence. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First on the agenda is public participation. Ms. Coggin.
Public participation is the time
Oh,
that the...
wait. I'm sorry, yeah. Let's wait till he comes in. Good evening. Ms. Coggin is going to read about public participation first.
Public participation is the time that the board has set aside to encourage you as members of our community to voice your opinion on any matter either included on or excluded from the printed agenda. A maximum time of 5 minutes will be allotted to a single individual or a single topic based on the number of requests. Complaints against any employee of the school system will not be heard unless the complaint has been submitted in writing to the superintendent at least 7 days prior to the board meeting. If unresolved, any personal complaints about school personnel must be put in writing for the board to review in executive session. Personal attacks against any member of the board will not be tolerated. Once the time for the public participation has passed, discussion of topics will be restricted to board members only. Thank you in advance for complying with this request. Mr. Sugg.
Yes. Thank you. You guys heard from Chief Medical Officer Dr. Little back on August 25th presenting about the effectiveness of masks, which I know you guys passed that mandate for the schools. But he also talked about the fact that the children are not severely impacted by the disease, as evidenced by the mortality rate. He talked about the age of the patients admitted to the hospital is not affected by at the children level. You say you're looking for continued downward trends of metrics, but the metrics you seek continue to show errors, as evidenced by updates continuously from various sources. Even the CDC was updating metrics last week, saying what percentage of people were actually affected by COVID. The hospitalizations, I mean, you walk into a hospital, if you had COVID at any point in time, you're labeled as a COVID. So, I mean, the metrics that we look at, that you guys are looking at, seem to be flawed with, lots of different errors. The metrics are focused on the totality of the community without regard to effective age range. The average age of death from the Georgia Department of Health website is 70. Last I checked, there are very few students and staff over 55 attending or working at the schools. While you do have to protect your staff members, we know that masks work well. I mean, Dr. Little even said 0 effective rate, at the hospital. You say that you're trying to watch out for a community that has remained open for business. I mean, look at Home Depot, Kroger, Ingles, all these other stores have remained open without fail, but yet we've continued to keep our kids out of the school systems. I know you're reopening. I see that you're reopening. You have a plan in place finally. But my question for you is, why is it going to take another 5 weeks? You have metrics that show that these things work, that these masks are working. So why are we waiting another 5 weeks for these option ones to get back to school? I mean, you have infrastructure problems, some of which were not your fault today. I get it, AT&T and other issues. This is not going to be the first day of problems. You don't even address option 2. You say those folks aren't even coming back till January, and I'm questioning why. What are we afraid of? If you believe Dr. Little saying that the masks work, then why aren't we getting and accelerating this plan? I do understand you've got a 5-week plan, but I mean, look at the number of schools. I mean, Walton County has been back in place since almost the beginning of August. Social cities schools, you've got private schools that are back. And what are we doing? We're still sitting there trying to do virtual. Virtual is going to work for some. It's not going to work for all. One of my kids is one of them. One of them will do fine virtual for a number of weeks. But you're telling me that my other kid's going to have to go the next 5 weeks basically doing virtual, and the crap that goes on today with infrastructure that works and doesn't work. So my question goes back to, if you believe Dr. Little and masks work, why can you not accelerate the plan to move, to move us back in person for those who want to go.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sugg. On the public participation, we actually don't answer the question. You pose the question, and then the team gets back to you on the information or the question that's posed. So I don't know if anybody wanted to comment after that, though. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor? Okay. Approval of the minutes, please. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Superintendent's reports.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Madam Superintendent. The special purpose local option for education sales tax, East Blast 5 distribution for July was $1,347,855, which is an increase of $54,527 from the previous month. The average for the first 7 months of East Blast 5 collections is $1,247,170. The title ad valorem tax collection for July was $541,367. Expenditures which relate to fiscal year 2020 continue to be processed. School system is anticipating final collections for 2020 from the tax commissioner, and finally, the ending fund balance will be available at the October board meeting. The board financials for August are there for your review, and that concludes the financial report.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the financial report? Okay, thanks. Go to the strategic plan report, please.
Good evening, everyone. I shall present the strategic plan report. Under student achievement and success, special education behavior support personnel provided many parents with take-home behavior kits in August. These kits are tailored for the individual child and include hands-on brain break activities, visual cues, individual social stories, and manipulatives. Parents were also provided a customized visual schedule to meet the needs of their child. Under high-quality workforce, during, the 11th annual Teach for Tomorrow Technology Conference was held on August 13th, 2020. The instructional technology team facilitated and coordinated more than 50 sessions, including 15 hands-on workshops to help teachers learn and improve technology integration for virtual learning and leading. There were prearranged strands for new teachers, strands for veteran teachers on curriculum enrichment, and strands for virtual classroom development. Under culture, climate, and communication, school counselors, school social workers, and school climate specialists participated in a full day of professional development on Monday, August 17, 2020. Trainers from Rethink Ed, the NCSS social emotional learning platform, provided a refresher on how to and trained everyone on the reintegration plan. These educators are ready to welcome back students and families. All students and families will have access to Rethink Ed. With the support of counselors, school social workers, and Apex clinicians, students will be well cared for upon the return to the 2020-21 school year. And finally, on the organizational and operational effectiveness, Corey Craver, procurement specialist, taught a class on the procurement cycle and best practices in procurement at the Governmental Procurement Association of Georgia's virtual leadership seminar. Other topics included needs analysis, customer service, and emergency procurement. And those are just a few of the items that are highlighted in this month's strategic plan report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roundtree. Those are some good highlights.
Thank you.
Any questions regarding the strategic plan report? Okay. Old business, we have none. Moving on to new business. Item A.
Yes, ma'am. In item A, the superintendent recommends the approval of membership in the Cognia Network. The total cost is $28,800. As rationale, based on a set of rigorous research-based standards and evidence-based criteria, the accreditation process examines the whole institution, its policies, programs, practices, learning conditions, and cultural context to determine how well the parts work together to carry out the institution's vision and meet the needs of every learner. This deals with all 4 of our strategic goal areas. The purchasing documentation is there for your review, and the funding source is outlined, and that is item A.
Okay, thank you. Any questions regarding item A for Dr. Barr? Okay, having none. Item B.
In item B, the superintendent recommends the teacher engagement services needed for the school system be purchased from Teach Upbeat LLC of Brooklyn, New York. The total contract value is $33,600. The Upbeat survey offers a simple, statistically sound method for understanding teacher engagement and yields consistent, actionable insights regarding what is motivating our employees and ultimately influencing their decision to stay or leave the school district. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 2, high-quality workforce, and Strategic Goal Area 3, culture, climate, and communication. Purchasing documentation is there for your review, as well as the funding source, and that is item B.
Okay, any questions regarding item B? Okay, thank you. C.
In item C, the superintendent recommends the identified items there for your review be declared surplus and disposed of per board policy. And that is item C, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Questions on C? Y'all are quiet tonight. D.
In item D, the superintendent recommends the whiteboards needed for the school system be purchased from School Outfitters of Cincinnati, Ohio. The total cost will be $31,855.90. The facility departments needs to replace whiteboards at West Newton Elementary School and Oak Hill Elementary School, as well as in classrooms at select schools throughout the district. The school system will utilize a contract managed by National Buy Board, a national purchasing cooperative established in part by the National School Boards Association to procure the equipment. The items and the school locations are listed there for your review, and this deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success, and Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational Operational Effectiveness. Purchase documentation is included, as well as the funding source, and that is item D, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any questions regarding D? E?
In item E, the superintendent recommends the PBIS reward software needed for the school system be purchased from PBIS Rewards of Evansville, Indiana. The total contract value is $30,101.58. A key aspect of PBIS is the focus on more positive behaviors rather than an emphasis on the negative. PBIS Rewards makes this fundamental step in PBIS much easier in a school-wide support setting. The software as a service solution that provides an automated school-wide PBIS management system that allows school administrators to clearly see how teachers are utilizing PBIS and how PBIS is improving school culture. This relates to Strategic Goal Area 3, Culture, Climate, and Communication. Purchasing documentation is there for your review, as well as the funding source, which is federal Title IV funds. And that is item E.
Okay, thank you. Questions about E? I have a question on E. So the teachers have been trained or kind of given some creative ways to still utilize like PBIS in the virtual setting?
Yes, Ms. Cummings is coming to
Okay.
answer that.
Okay, may I hear the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was asking, have the teachers been trained or given some creative ideas on how to use PBIS in the virtual settings? Like still reward students for good behavior in
ma'am.
that setting? Okay,
Each school had a summer planning session with their PBIS team. Each school has a 10-member team, and that team is trained, and then they have trainings within the buildings. So they have all the resources that they need to use this virtually, and then they'll be ready to continue to use it when they return to the building. The kids are familiar because we've used this for the past 4 years now. We just have exceeded the threshold because we've added 2 more schools. We're up to 17 PBIS schools now.
okay. So even in the reward process though too, like, so say for a past example, like no tardies, you might have a no tardy party. So what is the kind of like the plan in the virtual?
So they have set the expectations for the virtual classroom. So for example, say you sign into Zoom on time, you get points, you respond in the chat, whatever, you're getting your points.
Perfect.
Then they have their they have their incentives that they can choose from. Each school has their own individual store. So it could be, they could get like little gift certificates for things when they return to the school. They could get school spirit things that can be mailed to their home, that can be delivered by school social workers. So each school has their own plan, but the school social workers are also a part of this.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure those incentives were still there and kids were going to behave and have something to look forward to,
Right.
especially at the elementary and that early middle school age.
And they still have their points from last year, since they went home so early, they still have those points, those carried over. So, any kid that was in the building who had points, they haven't lost those points. So they started today with a balance,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
Okay, any other questions? Okay, moving on to F.
In item F, the superintendent recommends the laptop, computers, and accessories needed for the school system be purchased from Dell Marketing LP of Round Rock, Texas. The total cost will be $99,411.62. School system will utilize a state of Georgia contract to procure the equipment and accessories. The items and their associated costs are represented there for your review. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 4, Organizational and Operational Effectiveness, and Strategic Goal Area 2, High-Quality Workforce. Purchasing documentation is there for your review, as well as the funding sources outlined, and that is item F.
Okay, questions about F? Okay, I do have a question, sorry. Do we have an ETA on these? Or roundabout ETA? I know everybody in the world is ordering, so,
Well, the good thing with these units, these are our teacher computers. And so the turnaround time, the lead time on these aren't as severe as it is for our
The other
more
ones.
affordable student-style computer. So we're looking to get these within a month and a half.
okay, thank you. Any other questions? Item G,
In item G, the superintendent recommends the educational resources needed for the school system be purchased from Nearpod of Dania Beach, Florida. The total contract value is $49,040. Nearpod is a collaborative instructional platform that merges formative assessment and media for live and self-paced learning experiences inside and outside of the classroom. The school system will utilize a contract managed by the National Buy Board, National Purchasing Cooperative established in part by National School Boards Association. The schools and their associated costs are represented there for your review. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Purchasing documentation is there for your review, and the funding source is Federal Title I, Part A, School Allocations. And that concludes item G, Madam Chair.
thank you. Any questions for G? H,
In H, the superintendent recommends the purchase of virtual tutoring services from Focus Care Incorporated. The total cost is $220,000. FEV Tutor provides a personalized live one-to-one virtual tutorial experience 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. FEV Tutor assigns a dedicated education program specialist who serves as the primary contact and resource for school partners to effectively implement customized tutoring. The school system will utilize a contract managed by the Allied States Cooperative, a national purchasing cooperative to procure the program. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Purchase documentation and funding sources are there for your review, and that is item H.
thank you. Item I, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just a quick question. Is this the same amount of hours that we had last year, or is this an increase?
Actually, we reduced it just a little bit to come in to a little cheaper. We're trying to conserve as much money as we can, and looking at the review of the numbers of hours that children used last year, we could make a, somewhat of an adjustment.
Okay, great.
Any other questions for H? Okay, item I,
In item I, the superintendent recommends Intellitech Foundation's STEM content and materials be purchased from Learning Labs Incorporated of Calhoun, Georgia. The estimated total cost for this purchase is $36,000. The Intellitech Foundations of STEM content will be utilized in the engineering and technology education labs at Clements Middle School, Liberty Middle School, and Veterans Memorial Middle School. The Foundations of STEM curriculum introduces students to STEM concepts through problem-based learning and hands-on activities. This package includes 4 courses and over 30 downloadable projects that can be delivered remotely via a cloud-based model, as well as utilizing computer workstations in our engineering labs during face-to-face instruction. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. The supporting documents are there for your review, and this is, funding source is Federal Vocational Education Funds, and that is item I.
Okay, any questions on I?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
We excluded some of the middle schools. Any reason why they weren't on the list?
The other two already have the platform. So this is fulfilling the rest of the three that we didn't purchase previously.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you. Item J.
In item J, the superintendent recommends the purchase of Studies Weekly for the elementary English Language Arts program. The estimated purchase amount is $67,000. Teachers use this weekly publication as a supplemental resource in their reading class, social studies classes, and the integration of social studies into their reading classes. Studies Weekly is used to address the English language arts, reading, writing, speaking, listening, and technology standards, but it also incorporates the Georgia Standards of Excellence in social studies. Studies Weekly provides a teacher guide for each lesson so that teachers know how to incorporate research-based instructional strategies into the lesson, and additional resources such as vocabulary cards and graphic organizers to further teach the lesson. And this deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Purchasing documentation and funding source are there for your review. And Madam Chair, board action is requested on this one this evening.
Okay, so we need action on J tonight, and just to give you guys the heads up, K, L, M, and N as well. So I need a motion to move J forward, please.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. The floor is open for questions regarding item J. Any questions?
It's a physical newspaper that can also be accessed online, is that right?
It's both. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
all right.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0, thank you. Item K.
In item K, the superintendent recommends the purchase of student lesson packets and workbooks for the elementary math program from Savas Learning Company, LLC. The purchase amount is $134,264.43. The student lesson packets, often referred to in the district as the math work mats, are used to support math instruction for students in grades kindergarten, first, and second. The work mats are consumable, colorful leaflets that are correlated to the 16 topics in Envision Math, which is our elementary math program. Each topic and lesson has a work mat that allows the students to have a recording space for hands-on interactive math learning. The work mats allow the students to be taught using the CRA model of concrete, representational, and abstract that are used to teach math. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. The purchasing documents, as well as the funding source, is outlined for your review, and that is item K.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion for item K, please.
So moved.
Second, anyone?
Second.
Okay, moved in second. Floor is open for questions.
I just,
You have a question? Come in. We used the same material last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to check. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bailey?
and this is like, yeah, I would vote for this 2 weeks ago, 6 months ago. Is it also available online?
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know they're consumables, but they're,
Mhm.
they could use it right now, right?
Yes, sir. The teacher has resources. We're just trying to get the kids.
Awesome,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0, thank you. L.
In item L, the superintendent recommends the approval of the purchase of internet connectivity needed for the school system from Spectrum Enterprise of St. Louis, Missouri. The total monthly cost is not to exceed $36,077.97. This deals with Strategic Goal Area 1, Student Achievement and Success. Purchase documentation is there for your review, and the funding source is the CARES Act, which is outlined there, and that is item L.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion for L, please?
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Floor is open for questions or discussion.
Just curious how it works. Like, it's $36,000 to exactly what? I mean, it says internet connectivity, but we can't vote no to that right now. But what is it exactly?
What this provides is home internet access to the families who are in the Spectrum area who meet certain criteria, such as they're not current Spectrum users, and they have not had Spectrum within the past 60 days. It allows us to give them home internet access through Spectrum. And these were also the families that were identified through signups that required internet access that they couldn't, that they currently don't have, they aren't able to provide for their household.
So this helps them get connected, or this pays their bill every month?
It gives them home internet access, so they have the ability to have all students able to access content, whether it's Zoom meetings or Canvas or whatever the case may be within the household.
It's their internet connection, right?
Yes.
So are we paying their monthly bill? That's what I'm asking, like, how, we would be paying someone's monthly internet bill.
We're paying for the Spectrum service to the household.
And they're paying the monthly bill?
We are paying the charge.
Okay. So we're paying the monthly bill for someone's internet.
This is, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bailey.
That's, I just,
Yeah, I mean, it's technically, yes, but it's the same as if we're paying for
The
a hotspot
hotspot.
to provide their service that they're using in their home as well.
so this is where hotspots don't work?
These are places where hotspots could work, but this is actually a better deal for us to provide the access at the price point per user, per household versus the price that we're paying for the hotspots.
Okay, how many users will this be?
For this, we currently have identified 303 households that meet the criteria for Spectrum, but we also have another 900 and, what's it, 900 and? Yeah, about another 900 or so households that requested internet access that we sent to Spectrum to see if they meet the criteria as well. It's one thing, Spectrum is starting its plan, but we're starting to see other telecommunications providers, internet service providers look at branching out and doing this as well. I know Xfinity is also looking at this in some other markets as well to try to bridge that gap
Yeah.
with internet connectivity.
Well, I certainly see the need right now. And this is CARES Act funds, right?
Correct.
Okay, so this is CARES Act funds. Once these students have access to the internet through Spectrum, we come back online and people are back in class, let's say 2021. Are we gonna, then this deal would end, it's not we don't have to renew this contract every year or anything like that?
Right, this is month to month, so if something happens, this magically goes away and we all come back in next month and we could end the service for all users and that's it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I've got a question though.
Go ahead.
But speaking on that, this is just, what's the contract? I know it's month to month, but is it 36,000 per month or?
That's the maximum we'd be looking at if all of the additional addresses that we sent to Spectrum also qualify for that service. Then that's the maximum amount that we would incur each month. We're definitely looking at less than that, but that's worst case scenario, having to incur all those users.
So it's 36 a month.
I do have one question. You done?
No, yeah.
Because I was going to go to the clarity, what Mr. Bailey was saying, like the families that did not get a hotspot but fell in the Spectrum area, they got this instead.
Correct.
The notification comes through the mail for them, or how does the notification come for them?
For them, once everything is approved, they will just receive the self-installed modem kit in their home
Okay.
and be able to connect that with the directions that they will receive, and then they're good to go.
Okay, so they'll get the entire kit sent
Yes.
to the house? Okay. Only those that qualify, well, not, that are in this area?
Right, the ones that qualified.
And then the ones that weren't in the area got a hotspot?
Correct.
Of what we had, okay.
Yeah, we're trying multiple solutions to solve this problem that we're currently facing.
But this is the better deal than the hotspot, is what you're saying, like fiscally?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, that clears mine up. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. I know this is coming out of the CARES budget. Can you produce or show us, it's a running total, where we stand with the balance of that? I know it's coming out of there, but where are we with the total?
I don't have those figures with me, but I can have them for you tomorrow.
Well, it's not mine, but somehow, I just would like to see how we're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
To check on the check balancing type style, you know.
Okay.
Don't want to write bad checks on this account.
Absolutely, yes, indeed.
I agree, I would love to see that.
We'll do it.
For those of you who know Dr. Thomas, she definitely
She's got it somewhere.
Indeed.
holds the purse strings very
Between Ms.
tight.
Robinson and Dr. Thomas.
We want to make sure you're not carrying too much. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, I'll call for the vote or the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 4-0, thank you. Item M, still on you, Dr. Fayo, huh?
In item M, the superintendent recommends the approval of the purchase of mobile hotspots needed for the school system from Khajiit of Bethesda, Maryland. The total cost is $178,668.89. Strategic Goal Area 1, purchase documentation is there for your review as well as the funding source. That's item M, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to move M forward, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Floor is open for questions or discussion.
Yes, I have
Okay, go ahead.
just another comment to add on with the one we just discussed to help us manage the balance so we can see on this because of the CARES account.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, appreciate it.
Any other questions, concerns? Having none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0. Item N,
In item N, the superintendent recommends the approval of personnel matters as discussed in executive session.
okay, I need a motion for N, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0, thank you. Other matters of interest? Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just want to thank our parents and our community for their support. We know today was the first day of school, and it was definitely an interesting first day. Just to give some clarity about what happened, about 3 o'clock this morning, we received a text message from AT&T indicating that there was a loss of connectivity. Of course, most of us were sleeping at that time, so we got up whenever we woke up this morning and began working on fixing the problem at about 5:45 a.m., at which point we discovered that it was indeed an AT&T circuit that was provided and PeachNet was down. As a result, though, everybody in our district was very resilient, and even though that outage impacted our telephone system, so we were unable to receive calls in. We could make calls throughout the district, and we were unable to receive emails into the district for most of the day. The schools responded magnificently. They went into action, and they began to make it possible for their students to receive instruction throughout the course of the day. Our network team and our network engineers worked hard from way early in the morning to try to troubleshoot and fix any issues that they could get their hands on, make any corrections that needed to be made, but work closely with our partners in an effort to resolve the issues because, of course, not having internet on the first day that we are a virtual school system certainly was not what we were hopeful for. We knew we might encounter a few little bumps in the road, but actually not having internet was certainly not the expectation. So I'd like to just commend our principals and our teachers for all of their hard work and effort, and our technology team, our network engineers, Dr. Adam File, and I know he was struggling all morning long because we had prepared and tested and done everything that we could in order to make sure that we were in a good technological shape for the first day of school. I would like to just report a few little numbers. We deployed 1,506 Khajiit devices, which are the mobile hotspots. An interesting number is that 722 of them are being actively used right now, but 784 haven't been used yet. And so we're going to need to figure out why people are not turning on those devices and then recalling them, because if you don't need them, we need them back so we can deploy them to families who do need them. On the other side of that, we did have 208 families who exceeded their limit. So they may have had a family of 3, for example, and they were all running at the same time. And so we've worked with them to add support to their specific devices to ensure that they can access the internet. So as I said, we'll be chasing down the 784 dormant, meaning they received them, they're active, they haven't turned them on yet, folks, so we can figure out either how to support them or to get them back so we can give them to somebody who does need them. Zoom, we had 2,816 meetings today that served 65,558 participants, and we had 2,662,579 meeting minutes today, which is a lot of time people spent engaged in the classroom. And then through My Launchpad, which is the place where everybody goes to access the things that they need on our dashboard, there were 34,735 logins, and of that 34,000, 23,277 were unique users, and there were 170,899 app launches. So today, in spite of the challenges that we faced with our partner, AT&T, we experienced a lot of usage and lots of connectivity and lots of people doing their part. And we're still working to make sure that those people who are struggling with internet connectivity and device usage, that we can try to meet their needs as well. So just wanted to give everybody an update, and most importantly, just thank everybody for the hard work and dedication and the being able to pivot, and our word of the year is flexible, and just being real flexible in meeting the needs of our students. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Add another word, grace.
Yes.
So, grace, definitely. Any other comments, feedback, other matters of interest?
Just a comment. From a teacher standpoint, the students that was assigned to them, do they have a relatively easy way to get the information as who did not come to school today?
Yeah. They,
Any
each
feel-
class is, of course, supplied with a role, and we have a protocol for taking roll virtually, and then we also we have a protocol for those children who, even we're in the self-paced model where we don't see them, but we are able to see their hours of login. So yeah, we actually, I don't know where we are. Ms. Fennell handles that for us. We did do the count today. I don't know where it is. I didn't look at the numbers before she left. So we are capturing, that information as well. So we will have that at some point. But we are able to, take roll based on who's there and who's not there.
Is it possible to get that for a week or so, just to get a feel for, you send us an email?
Yeah. We
as
do,
to
like,
what expected and what we got,
yeah.
contact in.
Yeah. Today was a bit more of a challenge just because of the, yeah.
I'm not talking about today.
Yeah.
Let's start tomorrow.
Yeah, we're still doing the traditional 10-day count, and so we'll have that. But even in spite of the challenges today, I heard her on the phone several times with principals who were trying to get the information in, so they were, trying to be diligent about capturing it. But, it is probably very skewed today, but we will have that, we'll take that over the next 10 days.
Okay. Thank you.
And kudos to our teachers today. I know they've been asked to do 1,000 different things and a lot of different platforms, and learning stuff really quickly, and then managing the the outage today from AT&T.
Yeah.
They're probably all asleep right now.
Yeah.
But no, just a lot of thanks to them, kudos to them, and I think, Madam Chair, you said grace. I think, if our parents could show a little grace to our teachers today, because they had a tough go at it and still learning and going to get better every day. But like you said, they're resilient, and that's why they work for Newton County. They're good teachers, so kudos to them today.
Absolutely.
Madam Chair, may I, one more thing? Just as a reminder, we're still monitoring the data, and on Friday, September the 11th, we'll be looking at, and things continue to look good, so that's a positive thing. The first group of students who will receive an email from us will receive that email on Friday, September the 11th. It's set to go out, and we'll ask questions about, whether or not and this is to parents who selected the in-person option, they will be asked to say whether or not they're coming back in person. And then B, we need to know about transportation, whether they'll need it AM, PM, or both. The questionnaire will also ask about school lunch, whether or not they'll need breakfast and lunch. And it will go out on Friday afternoon and then be back in by Monday at 5. And then our partner will turn the data around and we'll provide it to the schools by noon on Tuesday. And if there are questions, the principals will be able to call and ask questions from the parents. And then the goal is to have pre-K, kindergarten, and grade 1, grade 8, and grade 12 return to school on September 21st, which is 9 days from today. And so we need everybody to continue to wear their masks, watch their distance, and wash their hands so that we can get as many of our grade levels in as quickly as we possibly can. So just wanted to put that reminder out there because it will be here in 3 days and we'll be sending out that survey. So parents of students who are pre-K, kindergarten, and grade 1, grade 8, and grade 12 will receive a school system email Friday around noonish, and then we want it to come back in completed by Monday at 5, the 14th.
And again, the parents who selected option 1.
Correct.
to begin with.
The-
Just want to, because some people say, I didn't get my email, just the parents that selected option 1.
That's correct. Only parents who selected option 1, the in-person option, will receive the email.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Okay, good job, everyone. We're in this together.
Yes.
Grace.
Yes.
All right, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Okay, moved in second. All in favor? Okay, I'm sure nobody opposes, so meeting adjourned, 7:46.
Thank you.